In this video, we're going to talk about the best ways to use your tax refund to your advantage. I'm going to give you 5 tips that I would recommend in order to do to make sure that you are maximizing your tax refund. But before we do that, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about how to get your taxes done for free and file that without having to pay your taxes, then just stick around to the end of the video and we're going to talk about how to do that. Also, if you got some good information from this video and you like it, then go ahead to that like and subscribe button because it makes a big difference to our channel, helps us push it out to bigger and greater audience. So let's jump right into the video, starting with number 1, create an emergency fund. Many Americans don't have a particular fund that they keep that is liquid in case something was to happen where they are going to need that type of money. For example, something like a medical emergency, you lose your job, if there is a big repair that you need to do. If you don't have money readily available, then this can lead to you increasing your debt, increasing your credit card balances, and costing you more money down the road. Using your tax refund to start an emergency fund or augment one can leave you breathing easier down the road if something like this is to happen. So as always, this is my number 1 choice to do if you do not already have one, is to build an emergency fund. Number 2, pay off debt. If you have a balance, then consider using that tax refund to pay it off. It wouldn't make sense to take that $3,000 tax refund and put it into a savings account that may or may not be even accruing 1%. Whereas if you have a balance of $3,000 on your credit cards and that is having an 18% interest rate on top of that, then you would be losing money by just holding on to that cash. So if you've already created your emergency fund and you have a balance of some sort of credit, then I would recommend taking your tax refund and starting to pay down that balance. So by going with this route of paying down your debt, you're actually going to be putting more money back in your pockets on a monthly basis because it'll be reducing how much you have to pay for those minimums to get that balance down, and in the end help you breathe a little bit better on a monthly basis with your taxes and your bills. Third, fund your retirement account. So if you've already had an emergency fund and you don't have any debt that you need to pay down or get taken care of, then the third thing is to fund your retirement account. And you can never really go wrong with taking your tax refund to recharge your retirement fund. Basically, you can take advantage of compounding interest, and the faster you get in and the faster you buy into the stock market, some type of fund, that will allow that fund to grow and grow and grow, compound over time, whether the dividends or just the growth of the stocks will continue to make a big difference down the road. So one thing I want to look at is that if you have an average tax refund for approximately $3,000 and you are to invest that into the stock market, it can really snowball and make a big difference. So for example, if you invest $1,200 additionally per year at an average stock market increase rate of 6%, then in 25 years, you could be looking at an additional $60,000 in that investment account. That $1,200 can make a big difference. Don't underestimate the power of compounding interest. Number 4, saving for vacations or other big expenses. So we already talked about having an emergency fund, and you've probably already taken care of it at this point. So the next thing to do is hopefully you're taking some money and setting it aside for you to take advantage of it, maybe for a vacation or some other big exciting moment. So yes, you're going to be making less than if you were to invest it into the stock market, but you could still potentially get between a 0.5% to 1% with a savings account. And if you're looking hard enough, you can find some high yield savings accounts that are getting close to that 1% right now, according to FDIC. And you can put your money in that, and it's not as liquid as it would be in just a regular checking account, but it's still going to be accruing that interest so that you can start building up and moving forward to whatever you're building for that big vacation, that big anniversary visit. That can be something that you're building forward and seeing what's happening on a monthly basis when you put a little bit away every month. Number 5, invest in stocks, real estate, or crypto. So historically, the stock market has majorly outperformed savings accounts, bonds, things like that, that are only going to give you a smaller percentage yield. The stock market, like I said earlier, can give you approximately 6% on average over a long period of time. And if you are going ahead and already accomplished the emergency fund, you've already taken care of your debt, you've taken care of your retirement fund, and there's nothing else you need to save for, then this would be the time where you want to start looking at investing it into something else. So in that order, like I said earlier, I would be focusing on the stock market and index funds, because I am not a big fan of investing into individual funds, because even the biggest hedge funds don't do well at picking individual ones. And over time, they have seen that if you invest into a total stock market index fund that tracks the total stock market over the period of time, more often than not, you are going to be beating a lot of the big hedge fund managers out there. So that is always what I would recommend doing first, is thinking about investing into some sort of index fund similar to that. The next thing that I would consider doing would be to focus on maybe building a little bit of a down payment towards a real estate property, or some form of real estate, whether that's fundrise, something where it's outside of the stock market, but it's a different avenue of investing that you can definitely take advantage of. And the last thing that I would want you to consider is, if you already are taking advantage of the stock market index funds, you already are in some type of real estate, then diversifying a little bit further at the potential of going with cryptocurrencies could be a good benefit to you. That would be something that I would be, if I have already diversified into multiple different avenues and now I'm looking to find something that has a little bit more risk, that I'm okay with losing in the long run, but would be awesome if I end up making some money on it, then cryptocurrencies would be something that I would move into. If you're definitely new to cryptocurrency, then I would especially start thinking about finding some sort of like cryptocurrency index fund, or some way that you can start investing in it. Otherwise, I would really focus on the big ones, the Bitcoins, Ethereums, and then kind of going into what you think is going to be being a big deal with cryptocurrencies. We're not going to dive into that a little in this video, but it is something that, it's a stepwise approach. Always focus on the safest investments first and then move forward from there. And then this is going to be my surprise extra tip that I'm going to give you, number 6. The idea of being responsible with your money is killing you, and you really it's burning a hole in your pocket. Then if you've already taken fund of the emergency fund, you've done steps 1 through 5, basically, you've done everything like that, and you're already doing that, and you have this extra money, then go ahead and start treating yourself. The experts actually talk about taking 10 to 20% of your tax refund and using it for something that's going to be benefiting you, and then taking the other 80 to 90% of that and using it for the above, reinvesting it, moving to retirement accounts, taking something for a savings for the vacation down the road. So those are my 5 big tips for spending your tax refund this year. If you are interested in looking for how to learn how to file your taxes for free, then that video will be right up here in this corner. And we'll also put a lot of our tax folders and our playlist right here, so you can slide through theirs and learn a little bit more about how to maximize your taxes and get the best tax refund. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. We are always here to help you from your first penny to your first million.